Hello everybody, Martin here, doing another Legacy League. Excuse me, just say, yep, sorry, yeah, doing another Legacy League, playing Ad Nauseam Tendrils, doing a bit of a different, not different, but slightly different list than last I played. Testing this out, basically running a Grim Tutor, which was Dark Petition last I played. Just because it synergizes better with Empty the Warrens on turns 1 and 2 usually. And we have the sideboard here. You'll see that I have eschewed Hurkyl's Recall because I think the Eldrazi matchup is just like Hurkyl's is not improving it enough. Where it becomes like a great matchup, or not a great, but like a tolerable matchup, so it's better, I think, to just ignore Hurkyl's Recall. I have 2 Empty the Warrens that I'm bringing in, taking our tally up to 3 Empty the Warrens after sideboard against Eldrazi, because you just want to be as fast as you can out of the gates against that deck. That's how we have a chance. And it's also good against various Delver decks and Miracles. The Pithing Needles I've sort of gone a little bit sour on. I'm still testing them. It just feels like most Miracles players will have stuff like Engineered Explosives and Wear Tear after board, so they have answers, which is annoying. So I'm kind of considering maybe dumping these, and in that case we'll have other stuff. We'll have our own option to run Sensei's Dividing Top. But yeah, that's it. The discard suite, I've gone back up to 4 therapies, down to 1 duress, 1 thoughtseize. Got the Ad Nauseam in the sideboard. So, and our opponent is ready, so let's go. So this is a really interesting hand. We have the 2 Passing Flames, which is sort of not that great. It's like a mulligan to 6, but if we remove a Passing Flames and say that like these 6 cards were mulligan to 6, we would instant keep it, I think. So we're going to keep it. We don't get the scry, but I mean, that is what it is. Our opponent usually plays like Miracles or Stoneblade, I think. Well, Tundra into Ponder could be either one of those. Fetching Tundra, though, makes me feel like it's not Miracles. They are usually very keen on fetching out their basics, but it's not impossible. Oh, we draw another land. That's pretty neat. So I think I'm just gonna. I was gonna say I was going to fetch basics. Now that I got the Delta, to be able to, like if it is Stoneblade or like Patriot Delver, they could have Wastelands. But I think we want to be able to have one of our lands produce red mana, so that if we need to, we can crack a lady for blue once for Passing Flamesing, to be able to cast Ponder in if we find other cantrips. So I think we're just going to go for like the non-basics here. Get our Ponder on. I think this is pretty neat. Yeah, let's go like, so if we are getting discarded, that would be like the only reason to worry about the order of these, I think. We want to be able to discard them, probably not yet though, and then we want to brainstorm for sure. Ponder is the least important of these cards, but I don't think they will be discarding us, so let's just go like this, draw the brainstorm, and we'll get the Thoughtseize. Brainstorm is excellent here. We'll get to dump the second Passing Flames. But oh no, there's a Wasteland. So that's kind of blowing a hole in our plan here, and I even foolishly put the Ponder second from the top so that we aren't drawing the Thoughtseize until next turn. Meanwhile, they don't shuffle. I think we just make our land and say go here, because we need to draw that Thoughtseize, I think. So, do we start fetching basics now? Like, if we fetch a non-basic and they have a second wasteland, we're like in a lot of trouble. So I think we might need to. It might just have cost us too much. This fetching the underground sea before. Because now if we fetch the island, we cast our ponder and our brainstorm and hopefully find more lands. But the next land we find has to produce black. It means that LED will probably have to produce red for the passing flames. But I still think it's correct to get the island. This seems like they have an like what, red blast? No, they're just gonna hard cast days. Well, we're not in a position to pay for that, so okay. So it seems like it's a Delver deck, Patriot Delver. I mean, if we just get bottlenecked here on lands, we don't find another land if they have an answer for the brainstorm too, and that's obviously pretty bad. But I have to say that it's their fourth turn and they have yet to play a creature, so that's not too bad. So here we find a sea. I think I'm just going to play that out and pass. We could have brainstormed here, but then I don't want to make their land drop, and that opens us up days. Meanwhile, they of course, oops, they have a second wasteland. So we're gonna brainstorm here. They have a pierce. Ugh. Okay, well, that's fine. Nothing we can do. So both of our underground seas are wasted. Well, there's a tutor. So we just have to pass here. I guess eventually they'll play a creature. Oh, a Jeskai. It's not a creature. Okay, so here I think rather than play out the LED, we are just going to discard Passing Flames. And they're bolting us. Yeah, that's fine. I think if we find, swamp or fetch land or badlands, then we're in pretty good shape. If we find Lotus Petal, it's also not terrible. While they tutor up Batter Skull. So, does the 2 life matter here? They're gonna go 5, 10, 15, so no, it won't. I don't think Jeskai might change that, but let's have a look. The extra mana might allow us to play around days. Okay, so they have Bolt, they have Snare, they have Force, and a Batter Skull. Right. So this is actually like a pretty big problem for us. So they bolt us down to 10. We discard a tutor here. They bolt us down to 10. Probably they just pass the turn, right? Or they're just going to equip the Jeskai and get the beats on. So beat us down to 9. Next turn, beat us down to... What, they didn't attack? Well, we drew the land. Oh, well, no, we didn't draw the land. I think we drew the petal. I think we're going to petal Dark Ritual here. They are, I think, very likely to force it. If they don't, they just lose. But if they do, then like next turn, we have to draw like another land or an LED or a petal or whatever. But I don't see it really panning out any other way. Yeah, they force this with a snare. So now they get to make the Batter Skull, swing in for 5, and then put us down to 4 and have lethal on the next turn. So any land, well, no, not any land. Okay, no reason to do that, but I think if I'm him, I'm just keeping it in hand to simulate something, but I guess it doesn't matter. Come on, then. Nope, we lose. So that's frustrating. So here, I think we probably want empty, even though they've shown us batter skulls or batter skull, but I think being fast out of the gates with empty is kind of decent. Probably want a chain of vapor. I'm hesitant to bring in stuff like massacre, though it could be pretty. It could be pretty good. We want to bring out a Past in Flames because they will have rest in peace. Maybe massacre is just the tonic we require to get rid of, like, because they are playing white and blue. They're bound to have, I think, meddling mage or canonist. And massacre kind of takes care. It doesn't take care of Batterskull, but it takes care of like every other creature. So maybe we do want massacre. Maybe that also means we only want 2 empty warrants. What else don't we want? I guess we can cut the preordain. The second tendrils is a little bit sort of iffy, I feel, versus them. I think with 2 massacres, we don't want the chain of vapor. I mean, they might have null rod or whatever, but well, I guess probably not because they're an equipment deck. But they might have Grafdigger's Cage, or yeah, rest in peace. But we don't really care about that. So what do we cut as the last card? I kind of want to be dense on tutor effects to get my empty the warrants. I guess like boarding in the second empty kind of. I think it's between the tendrils number 2 or like the Grim Tutor. I think maybe we cut the second tendrils. Oh, I might have lived to regret this, but so we want to be on the play. Wow, this could have been great, but I think we probably keep it anyways. Like if this land produced red or black, would have been awesome. As it is, let's just play out the trop. If they waste us, yeah, it's not horrible. I think we end of turn brainstorm here, right? I guess like the good thing about brainstorming on our turn is if they have like a pierce or a blast, then it ups the storm count. But that means like drawing. I think I like brainstorming on their end of turn because it means like if they have an answer, then we have our draw step to give us like a blue spell or a land, and then go for the empty plan. Whereas right now, if we wait, then we use our 1 blue mana, and that means any blue spell drawn won't get to cast it. Well, it does. It looks like they do have something to say here. Guessing a blast. Sure. Okay. So we just have to pass here. And they are just itching at the bit to try and find a wasteland right now because they saw we missed our land drop. I would love to draw like a land here if I don't get wasted. Ooh, and they're brainstorm locked themselves. Not finding their land drop. Ugh. Well, that's no good. So we just have to ship it back here. So I guess they have Delver, sure. Come on, land. No! What are we discarding here? Wow, we could make a really ballsy play and discard the tendrils. I kind of don't want to show them Massacre. And if they do happen to give us, like, if his Massacre would be the correct card, because, like, we are both a swamp, and them having a plains away from being able to do anything with it. And we're planning on making MT, so I think I actually will end up. The tendril is just going to be, it has too potentially high sort of value in our hand. So I guess they are going to flip their Delver, because they know the card. It's another Blast, another Delver, sure. Now we kind of need to speed things along here. There's a land. So I think good thing is here, the way things have panned out, I feel like they are not that likely to force our first ritual here. But we will see. They don't, so what do we want to do here? So we want to therapy them. We can name Force just to sort of be sure that they don't mess us up on like the pedal or further spells here. And let's see here, we have 3, 4, 5, becomes 8 if this gets threshold. Will it be able to get threshold? So we have 4 cards in the yard, 5 with the pedal, 6 with the MT, so no, it won't. Not without like casting the therapy, which means we will only have 7, so so we'll get to strip 2 cards. They will have a pretty quick clock as well though. So I think we just need to get to as much storm as possible and like be sure that they don't have either a sweeper effect or like a GT or batter skull from a Stoneforge. So I think we're going to start by casting this. And I guess we will name Force of Will, which they had, and then they have Stoneforge Mystic and Daze. Let's just write this out. So Reb, Daze, Rip, Double Pierce, and Stoneforge. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're going to take the Force. Okay. So I guess like I kind of want to lure the Daze out of them. So if we can cast this ritual now using both black mana, maybe they will Daze, thinking we somehow like need the blue mana. No, they don't. So yeah, we're going to make 12 goblins, and we're going to flashback our therapy and name Stoneforge Mystic. You know, like, I'm not even sure. Maybe we shouldn't do that, because, tell you what, they either don't, like, they don't have a second land right now. The extra damage, well, will it matter? It probably won't. Actually, let's do it, because Stoneforge is going to block anyways if they do land it. So let's see if they flip here. They don't, because they found a land. Yep, there's the land, so they can play out Rest in Peace. They don't attack. Guess they just want to chump. Yeah, so they take 10. No, they take 9, sorry. Let's see. Yeah, they concede. We would have drawn another MT. So if they didn't have answers for MT here, they definitely will after board. So it really depends. Like this deck is like the Patriot Delver is like schizophrenic. Like they played like pretty heavy control during game 1, and then game 2 was like they were very aggressive with their Delvers. So it's kind of hard to really reliably go for like a grind plan against them, I feel, which is like a reason why it's defendable to not run 2 tendrils. I think we're happy with this setup on the draw as well. Reasonably so. Yeah, and this is a fine hand. So they are signposting having like the red blast pretty heavily. So we're not going to play out the ponder, especially since we drew like another land. So next turn we can make another land. Okay, so there's Meddling Mage. That's fine. What they name here. Infernal Tutor is like the most common name. And it seems like that's what they named. Sure. Okay, so I think we're just going to get out our basic lands here. And see if we can find something with Ponder. Well, there's an Infernal Tutor, so, but I guess we don't really want that now, and we have a Brainstorm, so I don't think we want another Brainstorm or another Petal. We want MT. Well, MT was awesome. We don't want to go for it now because they can daze us out of it. Like if we went Petal, the Cabal Ritual. So I think, depending on what we draw, like I think we really just want like another land. Okay, Stone Forge Mystic, sure. Okay, so here they get a piece of. Oh, they don't get a piece of equipment. It means they already have like pieces of equipment in hand. Okay, so another land is really. This is pretty cool. So let's start out with a duress here. Okay, so this means likely we will get to win this. So we're going to take the Flusterstorm, and they have sort of Feast and Famine, Sofaf, awesome, and Batterskull. We'll take the Flusterstorm. And here we even get to Brainstorm, I think, just to add to the storm count. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I guess we'll have Threshold, right? We'll have 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. So we'll get to Therapy as well. Ooh, so much storm. Yeah, let's just go like this. Put back, Brainstorm, put back. Dark Ritual, probe into Dark Ritual. They will basically need to draw a sweeper effect. Take the Batterskull. We will call ritual and we'll make MT for 18 goblins. And then we'll flashback therapy, taking Sword of Feast and Famine. So we'll be kind of sad if they draw out of this, but they have 2 draw steps. And they don't even bother. Maybe they didn't have any answer. So pretty awesome. We're off to a good start after losing the first game. And I'll be back for round number 2.